I grew up with people who always pointed me to Jesus, even though I didn't always get it. My mom and dad didn't go to church, but I had a grandmother who prayed, and she had 2 aunts who prayed, and they decided, us 3, we're going to lead you to Jesus. My 2 aunts were Catholic. My grandmother was Nazarene. And when I tell my testimony, I tell people, I'm Catherine. Because I got both. My grandmother took me to Sunday school in the morning. My aunts took me to Mass at night. And when I look back now, I know that was God. That was God making sure the tension between grace and truth was in your life all the way. At the age of 20, he revealed himself to me. I wasn't looking. And people say, I found God. I'm like, where was he? I'm the one that was lost, not him. I was sitting in a service kind of like this in the back, and all of a sudden the revelation came. I'll never forget it. First time I heard the Holy Spirit say, you're living in vain. And that changed everything. That one moment changed everything. I knew in that moment that I wasn't the same again. I knew that my life would never be the same again. In that moment, I knew something happened to me. I don't know how to explain it. I just know something just happened. It was an experience. I felt like something was removed from my eyes, and my heart was open. And I got up from that prayer like a little baby crying. You know, you ever had those moments with the Holy Spirit where it's not cute? You have, stuff. And I got up and I knew I'm never going to be the same again. And that was the beginning of my journey that I understood. Because even before that, he was pursuing me. That's the beginning of me waking up to the reality of my journey. Because now I go back all the way to my childhood and I see he's been doing this all along. He's making sure all along. So who is Jesus to me? Jesus changed my entire worldview. All of it. A few months later, after that, I had a second revelation. I was sitting in the balcony at Eastern Nazarene College for a service. A missionary was preaching. He was retiring. It was his last sermon. He had been a missionary to different parts of the world. He's an older man now, in his late 80s. And he preached this message, and at the end he said, who in this generation is going to take up the mantle? And he said, I'm calling you right now, and I see God's calling you. And my heart started. You ever had that moment? You ever had your 8-mile moment? If you don't know what I'm talking about. I remember freaking out. I'm sitting in the balcony going, I think that's me. And the only way I can explain to you what happened that day is I walked up and I walked down. I felt like I was a zombie. I felt like I had an out-of-body experience, seeing myself walking down to that altar. And they had little crosses at the altars to symbolize you're taking up your cross, you're going to follow Jesus, you're going to preach the gospel. And I grabbed onto that thing so tightly, and I felt, God, I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here. That's the day he put a passion for me to preach the gospel. I'll never forget it. I didn't ask for it. He called me. And the good thing is that when he calls you, he's the one that qualifies you. Never in a million years I thought I'd be a preacher. Jesus means, Then he began to work on me internally. Because we all broken. And I'll be honest with you, it's been 19 years, and he's still working on me internally. He began to set me free from destructive patterns. Began to purify me. He said things to me like, you're going to be a man of God. I want you to be set apart. I want you to be holy. I want you to have integrity. I want you to be honest. I want you to be genuine. I want you to be real. I want you to say sorry when you're wrong. I want you to work on being humble. Then a few years after that, he led me back to the place where I got called. I didn't know I was going to go to school there to become this. Went and got my bachelor's degree in theology, but honestly, my favorite thing about going to UNC was that's where he led me to meet my wife, Lindsay. That was worth that to me, that was worth the price of tuition. And you can ask her this, we were friends, just friends. I know, people are like, yeah, right. Oh, baby, you know, that. But we were honest to goodness, just friends. And we would talk about the future and what we see. Crazy that we would talk about one day, it'd be awesome to go to a city and start a church. It'd be awesome to start a church, but that does things for the community. It'd be awesome to have a church that is active, like a Boys and Girls Club. We always thought church should be like Boys and Girls Club with faith. And we used to dream about that. And then a few years ago, God said, go make that dream come a reality. Move to New Bedford and start that church. And so we came. And since then, it's just been miracles after miracles. And it leads me every day. Every day. There's not an area in my life that Jesus has not influenced, and he's still influencing. There's not a day that I don't go by without reflecting and thinking and praying and meditating and asking him, how am I doing? Not a day. He molds me as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a friend, and as a pastor.